Greetings, this is Jazz for Jazz Reviews and welcome back to the series. So from E.T. to Iron Man, the rule is you don't buy a movie game. Ever. No, you can buy a movie game, but run it past me first. This week's suggestion by Jay Sullivan, thank you for that, but here will be the top 5 best and greatest movie-based games of all time. At number 5, Goldeneye for the N64. This was a real early game for the console with excellent detail and environments. A lot of polish went into this game. I mean, you'd look at it now and think, what's he talking about? But this was magic for the time and still playable to this day. I want to play it right now. This game integrated all the Bond gadgets from the laser and magnet watch to the detonator. It was innovative, involving tanks and a sniper that could zoom in, a novelty. Goldeneye was a first-person shooter, but completely objective-based, including saving hostages, flat-out shooting, and stealth. The game also included a 4-player multiplayer, unparalleled at the time. The point is, with Duke Nukem and Doom ports out for the Nintendo, this movie game adaptation did amazingly with over 8 million copies sold, and only broken upon Halo's 2 release. All in all, a classic. At number 4, can you dig it? The Warriors! Another classic, but the game is another thing, a good thing. Released by Rockstar, the game follows the movie but also shows how the Warriors came to be the Warriors. The story, as you may be familiar with, involves the meeting between all of the New York gangs, and then the Warriors get blamed for the death of Cyrus, and every gang across the city will be hunting them down all the way back to Coney Island. But from chase and stealth sequences to insane button-mashing madness, the game stays true to the movie in its gritty, nasty environments, which means, sure, the game wasn't all that great to look at, but on the other hand, I don't think I really cared when I was caving this guy's face in. The Warriors came complete with minigames, side missions, co-op, and armies of the night. It was the complete package and more than worth the money. You just don't get these movie games anymore, or ever really. This was the exception, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't expect less of Rockstar. At number 3, The Matrix, The Path of Neo. So after its previous game Enter the Matrix, which I might add was also fantastic, The Path of Neo literally made you Neo, in which you played through all the crazy shit such as the bullet time shooting, wall running, and the epic Mr. Smith showdown. The game captures the spirit of the Matrix and aside from the purely graphical problems, sets a brilliant presentation. From the offices to the wet punch-up of revolutions, the game takes you from the beginning to end. It tries not to divert too much from the main storyline, and instead lets you fight through all of the training missions that we heard of in the movies. The game matched the movies with all kinds of insanely satisfying fighting moves. It was literally the bomb. On the other hand, as cool as all that sounds, there were some annoyances from time to time. One being the pathetic indoor camera angles and the 2-hour depressing stairway puzzle that was built to destroy the pacing. With all the carnage on screen, the visuals and destruction effects look great, but apart from lighting and shadows, the game was somewhat lacking in the graphical department. But on the other hand, the presentation as said and overall production value was astounding. The game let you relive all the scenes that Keanu Reeves saw and more. And more to the point, they were done brilliantly. At number 2, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can, spins a web.
Played on the PlayStation 2, Spider-Man gave gamers a real superhero experience. The web slinging was so refined, number 2 finally got it right. Spider-Man 2 was the first to give gamers tight and responsive controls over Spider-Man. And really, we've yet to see a single Spider-Man recapture that experience in a sandbox world. Following the story of the movie was fun, as were the millions of side missions located all over the city. Spider-Man was a button masher with all kinds of built-in combos and unlockable hero points. This movie game also gave value for money with tons of unlockables and hidden items hidden all across the city. It wasn't perfect though. Missions got very repetitive with the same old ladies demanding their handbags back and whatnot. And the cutscenes were sometimes a little corny, but hey, it's Spider-Man, and it's one hell of an addicting game if just that, whereas Spider-Man 3 was a mess. But ultimately, Spidey fans got a fantastic translation of the movie experience in a sandbox world, and for me that Spider-Man experience still hasn't been topped yet. And finally at number 1, The Godfather. It's rare you find an excellent movie game, but almost impossible to find one amongst your most favourite video games of all time. EA Games made fantastic use of the movie license with direct linkage to almost every scene from the film. The city is huge, and with that there's a lot of driving, possibly a bad thing. But aside from the main storyline, The Godfather offered you a place in the family, which let you climb up the ranks through extortion, racketeering and hits. You play as a made-up background character that just so happens to nab nearly every character's role in the movie. Either that or, for example, you'll be in the background around the time Vito Corleone gets shot. The game does a fine job placing you in the action, netting some of the most satisfying finishes in gaming. The aim of the game was to take over as much enemy territory as possible, and then of course blow up the enemy compound. With this, your character was aided with all kinds of unlockable weapons, and some nice suits to look good in when you did them. And in the process you may have to rob some banks, trucks, and bribe some cops along the way. Overall, the game provided a seamless experience that so intelligently placed you in the movie. All the characters seemed real, with the exception to Pacino. But there has never been a better movie game adaptation than The Godfather 1, or at least, not that I'm aware of. This has been the top 5 on the greatest movie-based games of all time. Don't forget to leave your top 5 suggestions in the comments below, because I will look through them all for ideas for the next episode in the series. And I'll also be sure to hit up your name in the video if that helps. This has been Jazz for Jazz Reviews, and I'll see you next time. It was possible Brink was weighing in to be the next breakthrough in shooters, or the next Team Fortress at the next level.